Hi, welcome to my video on relation in mapping form. Mapping. What we have here is a mapping rule. I'm going to do examples of a mapping rule. Mapping rule is mapping one number onto another. So x is mapped to x plus 1. So x is 2 is less than x is less than 6. That means you can't have a 2, you can't have a 3, and you can't have a 4, and you can't have a 5 if we're talking about the set. Let's talk about the set of integers. So if x is 3, then 3 plus 1 becomes 4. If x is 4, then 4 plus 1 becomes 5. If x is 5, 5 add on 1 is 6. So x is mapped to x plus 1, one more than what x is. Second one, we have a mapping rule of x is mapped to 2x, which is twice what x is. Again, we're going to talk about the set of integers. And the integers, notice negative 3 is less than or equal to x less than 1. That means you're allowed to have, because it says equal to, you're allowed to have a negative 3, you're negative 2, negative 1, and a 0. But you're not allowed to have 1 if we're talking about the set of integers. So if x is negative 3, then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. If x is negative 2, then 2 times negative 2 becomes negative 4. Negative 1 is 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. And we have a 0, and 2 times 0 gives us 0. So negative 3 is mapped to negative 6, negative 2 to negative 4, negative 1 to negative 2, 0 to 0. And C, x is mapped to 2. Let's see what x is. Again, we're talking about the set of integers. So 1 is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 3. That means 1 is in the set because it's equal to, and 2 is in the set, and 3 is in the set. 1 and 3 are in the set because it says equal to, and 2 is in between. So x is mapped to 2, so 1 is mapped to 2. 2 is mapped to 2. 3 is mapped to 3, because whatever x is going to go to 2. D, 3 is mapped to x. So that means, let's look at the integers again. 4 is less than x is less than or equal to 8. 4 is not in the set. 5 is. 6 is. 7 is. And 8 is. So 4 is no equal sign, so 4 is not included. 5, 6, 7, and it's equal to 8. So there's the 4 values of x. So 3 is mapped to x. X is 5. 3 is mapped to 6. 7 and 8. 3 is mapped to 7, and 3 is mapped to 8. Now let's take each of those, and that's the mapping rule, and use the mapping diagram. So in the first one, it says that we got a 3, a 4, and a 5. So 3, 4, and 5 is mapped to 4, 5, and 6. So 4, 5, and 6. So 3 goes to 4. 4 is mapped to 5, and 5 is mapped to 6. So the arrows tells you what they're mapping to. B, we have the numbers of negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. So negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. And they're mapped to negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0. Negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0. So negative 3 goes to negative 6, negative 2 is mapped to negative 4, negative 1 is mapped to negative 2, and 0 is mapped to 0. C, we have x is 1, 2, 3, so that's on the left side, and that's mapped to 2, 2, oh, that's a 2 there, I made a mistake, that should have been a 2, because x is mapped to a 2, so that's a 2 on the right side. So 1 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 2, 3 is mapped to 2. So 1 is mapped to 2, 2 is mapped to 2, and 3 is mapped to 2. So all of them are mapped to the 2. D, we have a 3 on this side, and it's mapped to 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 3 is mapped to 5, 3 is mapped to 6, 3 is mapped to 7, and 3 is mapped to 8. So that's the mapping diagram. Let's continue. Now we have different types of mapping given by the names, different mappings. One of the mappings we have is a one-to-one mapping. So one-to-one, let's see. Let's take the ordered pair of 0, 2, and 4. So 0 goes with a 3, 2 goes with a 5, and 4 goes with a 9. So 0 is mapped to 3, 2 is mapped to 5, 4 is mapped to 7. So these ordered pairs can be written in a mapping form. And notice this is one-to-one because 0 goes to 3, 2 goes to 5, 4 goes to 9. So for 1 over here is mapped to only 1 over here. And we have the ordered pair of negative 2, this goes with 3, and 1 goes with negative 4. So negative 2 is mapped to 3, and 1 is mapped to negative 4. And again, for each one in this column, or in this mapping side, is mapped to each one over here. That's what we call one-to-one. Another type of mapping, or let's go back to here. For each x, another way to say this, one-to-one, for each x, there's only one y for each x. So when x is 0, there's only one y value that goes with the 0. Or when x is negative 2, there's only one y value if you think about x and y going to 3. And second type of mapping is many to one. So let's see, I got a 1, a 2, and a 3, and that's going with, notice, 4, 4, 4. So even though I have 3 4s here, I only write 1 4 down. So 1 is mapped to 4, 2 is mapped to 4, and 3 is mapped to 4. So that's what you call many of these going to only 1 on this right box. So that's many to 1. We have a negative 1, we have a 1, and we have a 6. So that's the x. So we consider this to be the y. So that's a 2. So 1, negative 1 goes to 2, 1 goes to 2, and 6 goes to 2. So again, many of the x's are mapped to only one y. Think of it that way. Many to 1. Now we also have another mapping type of one to many. So we have a 5, 5, 5. So it's only 5 goes in for the x. So x is 5, but y is 1, 2, and 3. So 5 goes to 1, 5 goes to 2, and 5 goes to 3. So that's 1 x going to the 3 y's, 3 different y's. So it's one to many. And B, I have negative 3 for the x in each ordered pair. Negative 3 is going with negative 1. Negative 3 is going with 0. And negative 3 is going with a 2. So negative 3 is mapped to negative 1, 0, and 2. So that's many, what they call one to many. Notice, repeat, this is one to one. For each x, there's only one y. Many to one. So there's many x's going to only one y. And one to many, one x going to many y's. So when you think of it one to one, think of an x and you think of a y. Many to 1 is many x's going to only one y. And 1 to many is one x going to many y's. That's the way I think of it. Because the left side is the x and the right side is the y. Okay, let's continue. 3 types. Which one below is or can be a mapping of 1 to 1, many to 1, or 1 to many? Again, 1 to 1 is 1x to 1y. Many to 1 is many x's to 1y. And 1 to many is 1x to many y's. So think of it as x's going to y's. Number 1, notice the 8 is going to 1, 3, and 6. So that's looks like it's 1. I'm going to write it this way. 1 to many. 1 going to many. Right, number 2, 4 going to 1, 5 going to 2, 6 going to 3. So that looks like it's 1 to 1. Short way of writing it for me. And here I have 2 going to 6, 7 going to 6, 9 going to 6. So that's many to 1. And now what about an equation, as in x equals 2? Well, let's see what x equals 2 is. X equals 2 is what type of a line? X is 2. X is always 2. Let's look at an ordered pair. Look at it this way. 2. Let's do a couple of ways. X is 2. X is 2. X is 2. X is 2. So x is always 2. But y could be what you wish, because it doesn't tell you. So y could be 0. Y could be 1, y could be 2. So if x is 2 and y is 0, that's there. If x is 2 and y is 1, that's that point. If x is 2 and y is 2, that's that point. So what we have really is we have a vertical line. So a vertical line has only one x. So that's a 2 going to, if you think about it, a 2 going to 0, 1, 2. So 2 is going to 0, 1, and 2. So a vertical line is 1 to many. Or I go 1, I put 1 there like that, 1 to many. So a vertical line has all the x coordinates the same, but the y coordinates are different. Y equals x plus 3. Well, what happens here, if I say that x is 1, 1 plus 3 is 4. If I say x is 2, then y is 5. If I say x is 3, y is 6. So you notice that we have a line that has a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of 1. So we up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So we have a line doing this. So notice that's 1, 2, 3 in this column, going to 4, 5, and 6. So there's no many to ones, 1 to many. So this is a 1 to 1. This a line that slants up to the right. Line goes on. What about y equals 3? Well, let's look at the graph again. Or first, hold on, let's look at the ordered pairs. Might be a good way to look at it too. The ordered pairs. Y is 3, so that means y is 3 in all of these ordered pairs. So that means x can be what you wish. So I can make x 0, x can be 1, x can be 2. So if you do the diagram, we got 0, 1, and 2 going with 3. Oop, I only got 1, 3. I'm going to write down 3, 3, 3. Only 1, 3. So 0, 1, and 2 all go to 3. Let's see. Y is 3. 0, x is 0, y is 3. X is 1, right here, y is 3. X is 2, y is 3. Notice that the y coordinate is the same all the time. That's a horizontal line. So that means you got many to 1. Many to 1. So 1 to many is vertical. That means 1 to many is 1x to many y's. And many to 1 means many x's to 1 y. So 1 is vertical and 1 is horizontal. And let's see, these are 1s here. Keep it. Okay. So what we have here is we have a 1, 1, 1. There's a 1 there. And we have a 4, a 2, and a 3. So you think about it. Put arrowheads there. So that looks like it's 1 to many. And 1 to many, that means 1x to many y's. That would be a horizontal line. And right here we have 6, 7, and 8 going to a 2, 3, and a 4. 6 goes to 2, 7 goes to 3, 8 goes to 4. So that's a, let's write down a 1 to 1, 1 to 1. Number 9, 1, 4, 1 going to 10, 4, 10, 6, 10. So if you think about it, we got a 1, 4, and a 6 for the x. And the y is 10. So 1 goes to 10, 4 goes to 10, 6 goes to 10. So that's many to 1, many to 1. And many x is going to 1y, that would be a vertical line. Just think about it. Many x's. Sorry, many x is going to 1y is, hey, many x is going to 1y would be a horizontal, not a vertical. Many x's. X is 1. X is 4. Going to a 10. X is 6. Going to a 10. So many x's going to 1y is horizontal. And number 10, we have a vertical line. So what do I see? All points on this line are 3. So I see a 3, x is 3, y is 0. X is 3, y is 1. X is 3, y is 2, and so on. So if we do a mapping, we have a 3, x is 3, and y is 0, 1, and 2. So that's 1 to many. 1 to many, that's 1 to many. 1x going to many y's, and 1 to many is a vertical line. So that takes us through different types of mappings. I wanted to explain because we'll use these again later when we talk about a function. And you'll also use them in the higher math when you look at some of these mapping rules, 1-to-1 for inverse functions, etc. But right now, hope you enjoyed your video. If you like my video, click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button. Click the notification bell. More videos are coming your way. Write a comment on my video if you wish. And visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. And we have 3 sections. Me talks about my degrees and teaching experience. The video section talks about the strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. The content section has the topics and the number of videos on those topics on my YouTube channel. And the black font is what's online right now. And the red font is what topics or I will be putting there in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.